Alright, come here. My time now. Yeah, man, my time now. We're gonna just have a little discussion about this Gayle versus Ambrose things. I'm gonna take the time out. Big up Sports Frenzy. Big up everybody. So, what I did was make everybody go and them say them have to say about Chris Gayle and Curtly Ambrose. And you have people backing Chris Gayle, you have people who are backing Curtly, and you have people who are get really crazy, get Gayle out of the team for what he said because him disrespect a legend. Now, as the guru, when it comes on to cricket, I listened to the entire podcast of Mason and Guest, which a lot of people haven't done. So, for me, if you know what Sports Frenzy long enough, you know say, I deal with context. Zine? And here's the context of what happened. Excuse me. Now, the thing started out with, I think, a lot of people wouldn't even have known. With Andrew Mason coming out to the public on the radio, and he had a panel too. Panel of four people. Russell Arnold, Kenny Benjamin, Curtly came on later, and a couple other people came on and passed through. He came out and he said that there is there was a selection team panel selected by Jimmy Adams for come and review the team that was selected. So in essence, you're getting a review team for review the selectors who select the team. Zine? Now, Chris Gayle would have already known that this is already in place. People are come select the team and review the people who select the team. Chris Gayle obviously has been under the pressure for a while now, right? You know, playing for his IPL team, he saw that he had to leave the bubble. I mean, you think him just smell the rakes, he never go play no more because of his poor form. But he left the bubble and, you know, he wanted to refresh himself for the World Cup coming up. So you have that pressure, the pressure of obviously going to play a World Cup, the pressure of fans and probably a lot of the Caribbean people not wanting him to go, the pressure of a selection panel coming to review the selection team by Jimmy Adams. All of that pressure pile up on the man. And then here comes the Chris Gayle questions further down, like probably 1 hour down in the show. And that's the thing. If you never listen to the whole thing, you're not gonna really get the context. It wasn't just Curtly who the questions were being posed to. Like I said, they had a team and a panel, and all of them, the questions them they get posed to. So the first question that Andrew Mason asked, he asked the question, what number would you bat to Chris Gayle? What number you'd bat him? Zine, if you'd open with him or you'd bat him at 3. That's the first question. And Curtly Ambrose never say, oh, but I don't want Chris Gayle in the team, so I wouldn't bat him anymore. No. Curtly Ambrose addressed the question. Man say, for me, I want Gayle to be opening. And if he's not going to open, he has to bat 3. Anything less, yeah, it's not a fit for Gayle. Yeah? I may pull up my shirt because it's big. But big up to the reggae boys, by the way. Zine? So the man say, him have to open for him. Anything further down than 3, it not fit Gayle, and Gayle not fit it. Andrew went on to say, do you still think that Gayle has the goods? No, we need to understand. Curtly has come out publicly on commentary and said that if Gayle's form continues to be this dismal, he wouldn't want him to go to the World Cup. So he wasn't in favor of Gayle going to the World Cup. So people don't make it seem like, say, he's just answering the question of you know, if Gayle still have the goods. No. Currently, having him head from before, say, if Gayle farm continue to fail, him don't want him at the World Cup. So he already has that in his head. So he answered and he said, yo, you know, Gayle hasn't been performing and all of this nonsense. And I mean, some of them are true. You know, he's not making any runs since that time on X and Y. And then he went on to say, but on his day, Chris Gayle can be a very destructive batsman, so you can't count him out. Zine? And that's how that came. Then the final question he asked was about Chris Gayle being an automatic pick in the team. And obviously, like I said, he asked other panelists, and I don't see Gayle getting mad at the other panelists, but him he might get mad over Curtly. Right? And Curtly say, no, he's not an automatic pick in his team. Again, sure he can be destructive on his day, but if you look in the West Indies team, Chris Gayle is not an automatic pick to start in the 11. And that's a fair comment to me. So, people, you might think I'm picking sides here, but may I come from this from a rational point of view. No, I don't know if Gayle listened to the whole thing or somebody could tell him. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to say to you, I think he listened to just some parts of it, and so that's why he is coming out like this, because he said he feels targeted. And for me, this is a psychological problem, and don't ramp with me, because I have a minor in psychology. So anyway, for me, them have a saying we go, hurt people hurt people. And I mentioned earlier that Chris Gayle have all of this pressure and all of the stuff I mentioned earlier up, selection team panel reviewing the selection team and all of that pile up on the man head, and then him hear a man go say, I'm not an automatic pick and ray. And like me say, hurt people hurt people. I don't think Chris Gayle, personally I don't think Chris Gayle disrespected Curtly. He came out and he gave his views on what the man say, and he said, listen, I lose respect for him, and the man entitled for that. The man is a big man. Like, if somebody come out and say all of that and with the added pressure, okay, alright, man, I have no more respect for you. He's a big man, he's entitled to that. I don't see where he disrespected him. People are taking it out of proportion and say the man disrespect him. He said when him see him personally, he will tell him the same thing, same lose respect for him. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, the people him are big people. Of course, he can lose respect for people. I don't see nothing else for him say we're disrespectful. And so, like I say, hurt people hurt people. And Gayle came out very strong. And the whole narrative for the West Indies team has been positive vibe. The side already picked. Like, people continuing to question team selection at this point in time with like a week and some away before the World Cup. Just let it go. We want positive vibe now. Just let it go. Like, why do journalists keep asking about why this selector? Go talk to the selection panel. Don't continue to ask players about all of them stuff. But in conclusion, I like to say, Chris Gayle, you take the thing too personal, my boss. I know say you're stressed. I know say you have a lot of pressure going into the World Cup. So you take the thing out of context, and I would advise you to talk to Curtly, tell him say, I take the thing out of context after listening to the whole thing, and the man asks me a question and we just have to answer. Zine? So I don't think anybody is wrong. I don't think it's a wrong or right thing. I think that Chris Gayle just take the thing out of context and him jump to conclusion. And people shouldn't be surprised. Chris Gayle has done this before. The man say saw one worse than COVID. That was disrespectful, And remember the whole they might call him a Don for West Indies cricket and stuff like that. And yeah, Chris Gayle, him no mince words and stuff. And so if he wanted to be disrespectful, I think he would have been disrespectful. So for me, yo, man, them for just patch up that. I don't think it's anything to get overboard about. And when you listen to the whole thing, the man I take Curtly I go take some time, and him I go think about how Gayle say, and I'm sure this will be water over the bridge pretty soon. What I do hope is that, like all the other times when adversity comes up against the West Indies team, them seem to fight, and it always seems to be just before a World Cup. So I hope that this will galvanize the whole team, and I hope Chris Gayle are gonna make some runs. He's going to play. Them now bring Chris Gayle to sit down on the bench. So big up the universe, boss. Big up Curtly. Again, a lot of what Curtly said was factual, and he was just answering direct questions. And at the end of the day, the man say, yo, on his day, Chris Gayle can be a very devastating batsman. So, Sports Frenzy, big up on yourself. Big up the West Indies team, still favourite to the World Cup. Oh, big